what's going on out there? I'm Sean Devine. Hope you all are doing well. In this video, I'll be giving you an inside look at my production and mixing session for a new song. I've utilized the SSL native plugins throughout the entire session, in addition to many instruments and sounds from the SSL production pack. So I want to show you how you can use these plugins efficiently with a no-nonsense approach to achieving that signature, cohesive, polished SSL sound right here in the DAW. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so we've got the session open here. I'm going to go ahead and play back about a minute of this, let you get a listen and a look around the session.
When I've been on the right side of everything, I still got it wrong. Pushing through the struggles, feel my way through the fog. Thank God I never lost my way and never what I saw. How the plan is out my hands, lift you up even when you fall. So are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady? When the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch, gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me? 2020 vision, what we need, right? Is this what it's supposed to be like? Hate looming in the shadows, fear keep us shackled out of lie. This future not clear. Searching for peace on the outside and it's not here. No night like, hold up. It's getting hard to focus. The noise is what we notice. Are we questioning our motives? Yeah, like hold up. The dream is what they sold us, and they don't even know us.
So let's go ahead and slide over to this intro section. I have some toms here that I wanted to give them kind of that gated, big 80s effect. So I have both the drum strip as well as the flex verb. So if we go ahead and just disable these, let's hear those toms. But once we add both the drum strip, so we get that transient shaping as well as the gate, also has some low frequency and high frequency enhancement happening. And then on top of that, we have this nice space that I've created with flex verb. We get this. So moving down here to the organ, this is actually an instrument that is included in the SSL production pack with the Native Instruments hybrid keys, some really cool inspiring sounds in here. I've processed that with the valve comp just to add a little bit of thickness and some grit to this sound. The intro has this filter that is going on the vocal chain here, and we're going to talk about the vocal chain specifically in just a minute. But all I've done is just automated the XEQ. So you'll see when we start off, this will just slowly come up, and I've dialed in a little bit of a Q just to give us a bit of resonance and some thickness to this vocal so it can cut through as that instrumentation is playing in the intro.
When I've been on the right side of everything, I still got it wrong. Pushing through the struggles, feel my way through the fog. Thank God I never lost my way and never what I saw. How the plan is out my hands, lift you up even when you fall. So are you ready?
Let's talk about the vocal chains here. You're going to notice that I have a few different chains set up. I've got one for, the rap. I've got one for more of my singing delivery. And then we've got a couple of different ones for like the harmonies and the hook. But all of them are based off of the same chain. It uses 4 plugins, 4 SSL native plugins, and all these are very efficient, including the channel strip, which this is just a great utility that you can utilize across your session on both the instrumentation as well as the vocals. I love to use the filter section just to clean everything up, get rid of any low end we don't need. Also utilize the gate and expander if you have some noise in your recording environment. I can pick up noise from my hard drives and things. It's very useful to do that and just have this as a nice utility plugin that's not going to use a lot of CPU. Then we're going to follow that with the saturator, and I want to let you hear what that does because it really gives our verses as well as the hook, just a nice subtle lift.
Are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady? When the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch, gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me?
We're following that with the Valve Comp. This is an excellent compressor if you want to get more of a warm vintage tone that's really going to sit in the pocket with the beat much better and give your rap vocals a bit more grit. So if I go ahead and just disable the Valve in, let's hear what the difference is.
So are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady? When the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch, gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me?
Finally, we've got the vocal strip that gives us our signature high-end boost here at about 13K. And then we're also utilizing the de-esser. So if I disable the entire vocal strip, we get something like this.
So are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady? When the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch, gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me? So are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady? When the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch, gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me?
Gives us that nice sheen, that presence that we need. But obviously coupled with the de-esser, we just smooth everything out and give it that really professional, respectable tone in terms of the context of our vocal mix. Moving down here to our hook main, the only real difference with this one is that I utilized the XEQ2, had some buildup in these vocal layers, and this is great just to dial in some different points and be really surgical.
Like, hold up. It's getting hard to focus when the noise is what we notice. Are we questioning our motives? Yeah, like, hold up. The dream is what they sold us, and they don't even know us.
So with this, we're able to create more space for our harmonies to coincide with the lead here. So next up, let's talk about the flex verb that gives us different reflection types all in one reverb plugin. So we've got the room, we've got the hall space, the plate, and the chamber. So this is going to allow you to utilize this on everything from drums, like I have here on the snare, we'll take a listen to, and also on your vocals. It's going to allow you to create variation. Get a lot of questions from you all about how to separate, say, your rap verse from your chorus. And a lot of that comes down to the way you layer things, adding harmonies like we just heard, but also a huge part of it is creating different spaces that are going to give your listener the perspective of kind of moving through the arrangement, but also having a cohesive sound. For starters, on a snare drum here, you don't necessarily want a really big washy reverb. So we've actually got an internal side chain that I can set this threshold to where our snare transient is going to come through. We're still going to get all the impact we need, but then we just get the tail of it. So let's solo that. The kick and the 808 get a lot of questions about how to blend these in a way that you're going to get the impact of the kick, but also have the 808 really come through and also play well on smaller speakers, laptops, and that sort of thing. So first, just starting with the kick, I'm using the drum strip, which this has the transient shaper, which is an excellent tool for processing the front end of a kick. So we go ahead and get that punch. So with the 808, I actually have a little bit of parallel processing with the channel strip just to get rid of all the low end. And then I'm also heavily saturating it with the X saturator and then spreading that signal out to give us a little bit of 808 width. So if I just solo that, and then blended with the 808, going down here to our rap lead, we have another flex verb that's utilizing the plate. And, generally for rap, we don't want to put the vocal, further back in the mix with a really big space. We just want something nice that's going to add to the vibe and just give it a unique sort of feel in terms of sitting in the pocket with the beat. So if I solo this, let's just hear what that's doing.
So are you ready? Can you keep this thing steady when the lows are coming full force and you can't see the sun out the front porch? Gotta roll with it. Cause these days it's getting crazy. These nights been feeling hazy. Looking up like, can you save me?
And then going to our second verse, which is more of a singing delivery, I wanted a slightly bigger space. And again, just creating that movement throughout the arrangement.
Are they giving or receiving? And those songs you sing along with, do you know the reason? Deep questions. I'm not here to teach a lesson. I feel the flow, no, I'm not flexing. Necessary, very scary post-reality.
We have a lot of power here with Flex Verb to carve out space in the reverb signal with the internal EQ, which I've done so that we can retain the presence and the impact of the vocal, but still have something that is going to give us that vibe we want without washing it out. Our hook harmonies, we've used the room here with medium size.
Hold up. Hold up.
Moving down to the stereo bus, we've got our trusty SSL native bus compressor, gives us a little bit of glue, a little bit of lift.
Are we questioning our motives? Yeah, like who do you believe in? Tell me, is it dependent on the season? Are they giving or receiving? And those songs you sing along with.
I want to show you the XEQ2 here. So I wanted to just get rid of a little bit of the mids, had a bit of build up, want to clean up the mix and create some room. But then also on this upper curve here, I wanted to give us a little bit of high-end sheen on the mix, and I used a different EQ type. So the XEQ2 has all these different types of EQs that are going to give you different flavors and colors, which is very powerful, especially in the mastering process here.
Like who do you believe in? Tell me, is it dependent on the season? Are they giving or receiving? And those songs you sing along with, do you know the reason? Deep questions. I'm not here to teach a lesson. I feel the flow.
All right, so we've checked out many of the plugins and processing used in my new song, and SSL is providing the session file as a free download. So it's a great way to get started with the SSL native plugins, to see the settings that have worked well for me. I've used many of the instruments and sounds from the SSL production pack, which is included with the SSL2 interfaces. So I would highly recommend downloading this, loading up the session, and hopefully getting some ideas and inspiration for how you can utilize these powerful tools in your own music. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.